Well, ladies and gentlemen, we finally reached the moment where I am done with physical volume readings of Dragon Ball Super. Officially, this time. There isn't a new volume dropping this month. So we got some time before volume 18 comes out, but I'll be well caught up with Dragon Ball by then. But let's go ahead and get the formalities out of the way, because it's time to catch up to Dragon Ball Super. I'm not going to read all 12 chapters that are left. I'm just going to read 4, and then tomorrow will be another 4, and then on Saturday, I believe... Well, wait. Today is Wednesday. So on Friday, I should be done fully catching up with Dragon Ball Super. Gaming with Cordell, welcome. Also, welcome, Psycho. Good to see you as well. So let's get the formalities out of the way, like I said. Sometimes I can't tell if I press the button or not, but yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome to a live reading as I catch up to the chapters of Dragon Ball Super. Last we left off, Goku and Vegeta were fighting against Granolah, using the power of the wish that was bestowed to him. Pretty much was fighting both of them evenly until Goku started to use Ultra Instinct. And it got into a point where Goku was actually doing well until Granolah started to get stronger and stronger, and he started to awaken more powers for himself. Then it was Vegeta's turn after Goku got pretty much almost killed by Granolah. And then Vegeta awakened a brand new form, a brand new power he calls Ultra Ego. Goku has Ultra Instinct. Vegeta now has Ultra Ego, where he's basically just accepting hits because it fuels him somehow. I don't know the finite specifics of it. I'll look into the Dragon Ball Wiki and look at all the cool things that everyone can do when I fully catch up. When I fully catch up to all chapters, so we know where everyone's strength is on an even playing field. But today, we're going to be going through 4 chapters, as is the same way that all the physical volumes have them, 4 chapters per volume. We're going to be going through chapters 77 through 80, because as it looks like Granolah is about to kill Vegeta, Monaito comes down and lets him know, like, hey, these Saiyans are not your enemy. The Saiyans themselves are not your enemy. That I've actually been feeding you a lie the entire time I've known you. And Granola's all like, what? What do you mean you've been feeding me a lie? And then it turns out that it was actually a Saiyan that saved Granolah and Monaito. And that Saiyan was Bardock, of all people. So now Bardock's name has been mentioned in Dragon Ball, so now we get to see. Ooh, I can't wait to read Viz chapters, because unlike physical chapters, I don't have to worry about overstepping them. So if I see something amazing on one page, it's all like, oh, that's cool, and I might get out of my chair. Plus, I have full range of my fingers and my phalanges and my hands, so now I can emote even more. Chapter 77, Bardock, father of Goku. 40 years ago, planet Cereal. And it cuts to a bunch of Namekians who are working in the fields. And it looks like Monaito's there working in the fields as well. And then someone gets out of a car and has like a pitcher of juice or something. And it's some person. I don't know who it is, but it's some person having some juice for the Namekians and everyone. And I guess this is Monaito narrating. We Namekians got on well with the Cerealians, living in peace and helping each other out as good neighbors should. Oh, so these are Cerealians. Other Cerealians. Until one fateful night, lit by the full moon. And we see the drop pods of Frieza's army just dropping down all over the fields where the Namekians and the Ceruleans are. And it cuts to Monaito, and I believe this is Monaito going, what in the world? And this is, remind you, this is 40 years ago. And they look at the impact craters, and out of this impact crater is something that starts to tower over all of them, which is essentially great apes. Yeah. They came out of nowhere. And it just shows a whole bunch of great apes and other members of Frieza's army just pretty much going all over, pulling down and destroying so much of Cerealia right now. Planet Cereal right now.
There weren't many of us Namekians and Cerealians on the planet to begin with, so their invasion went off without much of a hitch.
And then it shows all of the Namekians pretty much being gathered all together, and then they just get fired upon from all directions. This is essentially just lining them up on a wall, so to speak, and just gunning them down. They just got piled all near each other, and they're just fired upon right there next to the very fields they were taking care of.
And
it shows Monaito, who's still alive. And I guess the old elder, who was the biggest Namekian in this group.
The Dragon Balls, Monaito, you know what you must do.
And it cuts to Monaito as he's given the 2 Dragon Balls of Planet Cereal.
I found myself the last surviving Namekian on the planet, and the Cerealians didn't fare much better.
As it shows Cerealians trying to fire on a great ape, but that great ape gets a building and just crushes some others. Then it cuts to a great ape who's just up on the top of the tower, the same tower we saw amongst the ruins that Vegeta was on. We see one particular great ape just looking out in the distance, and we look at his face, and there's a scar on the side of this particular great ape's face. And since only Saiyans can turn into great apes, there's only one Saiyan that has a scar on the left side of his face. There's only one. And he looks down and he sees like a small child running to a building, and he jumps off and he goes to where this child is, and this child is a young Granolah, and he finds his mother, and they look up, and apparently he sees this great ape, and he pretty much just gets knocked out. And this great ape looks inside of the building, and he just stares at Granolah and his mother. And as more great apes are just ransacking the entire place, there's another Cerulean who's on the top of a building, and he's preparing, like, I'm looking at all this stuff. There's a one Cerulean, and he's up, and he's using the same move that Granolah was preparing to use to kill Goku with, or was it Vegeta? Kill Vegeta with, and it shows one up there preparing to fire on these great apes. And there's an old Cerulean who sees this person going, "The moon flake! Aim for the moon!" Flake, like cornflakes. Granolah, oatmeal, cereal, flakes. But this old person says, "The moon flake! Aim for the moon!" You got it. And as he's preparing to fire at the moon, a great ape charges him, but he instead takes like a big hit across the forehead as Flake blasts towards the moon, and he pretty much destroys the moon. Wow, he just destroys, just casually destroys the moon, causing all the great apes to shrink in size and turn back into their regular Saiyan states.
We got him.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't be too sure, says one Saiyan.
Sorry, pal, but we're plenty strong even without our great ape forms. Strong enough, anyway.
And then it cuts to Flake. Getting bodied.
Come on, Leek. Let's mop up the rest and get out of here. Your head's gonna be okay.
And Leek was the one who got grazed by the shot by Flake that destroyed the moon that allowed all the Saiyans to turn into great apes. Then it cuts back to that same building that one particular scarred great ape was in, and it shows Granolah's mom holding Granolah, and this Saiyan standing in front of her. And the Saiyan that is standing in front of her is Bardock. And mind you, this is Bardock before he became the freedom fighter that we all know. So this was years before the events of the destruction of Planet Vegeta. And Bardock is just standing there because he doesn't have his trademark headband. He's fully dressed in Frieza Army regalia. And Bardock is just looking, and then Granolah's mom shoots at Granolah. And he kind of just lets her shoot him in the arm. taking out a piece of his pauldron with him and scarring up his arm. And then it cuts to someone going,
Yeah, of course you missed his birth. Do you have any idea how many months you've been gone?
"Oh, that explains why your tummy's flat again."
I swear, do Saiyan men have anything resembling emotions?
And this is Bardock speaking to his wife, basically. The little guy's
in the incubator back there. Think you can help me pick a name?
And then Bardock is there as we see a young baby Goku in this incubator.
What's wrong now? You've seen a baby before.
Kakarot. We'll call him Kakarot.
Kakarot! Sure, that's a fine name. Grow up big and strong, my little Kakarot.
And then it cuts back to Bardock seeing Granolah and his mom, and he's second-guessing himself. "Bardock, sir, we were looking for you. The mission's done and we have orders to pull out." "Is that so? You head home without me, Leek. I'm sticking around to check for survivors." "Very well, sir, but try to be quick about it. Word is Frieza himself will be here soon." "Good to know." And then Leek leaves, and then Bardock puts on his communicator. "These two are the last of them." And he puts on a scouter, and he's looking around, and he goes, these two are the last of them. And then Granola's mom is looking confused, and he starts seeing a beeping going on. "Deep in the mountains, a power level of 5. Just an animal, maybe? No, the movements are too deliberate. This is something intelligent." And it cuts back to Mona Ito, who is far in the mountains, pretty much in the same house we've seen him be in when we were first introduced to him. And he hears a rustling outside as he's setting the 2 Dragon Balls down inside of a pot. And he gets his staff, and he prepares to hit who comes through the door as he goes, "Take this!" And as he tries to slam his staff down, it turns out that it's Bardock, and he just casually catches Mona Ito's staff. "A Namekian? Your power level jumped to 213. Guess you can control it, which explains how you managed to keep hidden." And then it turns out that Granolah is in Bardock's arm, and his mother is there as well.
"Ceruleans! I didn't dare to hope for survivors."
And then the woman says,
I'm Muesli. I'm Muesli, and this is my son Granolah. Could we please take shelter here for now?
"Of course you can. My name is Mona Ito."
Frieza is coming, and soon. Keep hidden and off his radar."
"Ain't you a Saiyan, though? What's your ploy here?"
"I just felt like it, that's all. I better be off. Keep surviving, as long as you can."
Wait! Tell us your name, at least!"
"Bardock." And then it cuts to the present day, as Granolah is being told all this. That means I'm only alive thanks to that Saiyan's mercy?"
"Yep. Sorry for keeping that from you."
And both Goku and Vegeta are silent.
"And you're the spitting image of that Bardock fella."
"Huh? Me?"
"Yeah, you. Any of your kin go by that name, Bardock?"
Don't know. I was raised by Grandpa Gohan on Earth, so I don't know much about the Saiyans."
"Kakarot." "Bardock was none other than your father."
"Huh? My father? Really?" And then this surprises both Granolah and Mona Ito.
"What a twist of fate! You're the man's son, then!"
"This is the son of the one who saved me?" "I wish I knew a darn thing about my dad, but I can't say that I do."
"In any case, your soft-hearted nature clearly runs in the family."
"Hang on! What about Mother?" goes Granolah. "How come my mother didn't survive?" And then Mona Ito is silent.
"Well, you see..."
And then it cuts back to the past, as Bardock is preparing to leave.
"Wait up, Bardock! Let me see that arm of yours."
And then, using his powers, Mona Ito heals Bardock.
"There."
"That's something else. Never knew Namekians could do that."
"The really gifted ones can even restore your energy in the blink of an eye. Takes me all I've got to heal up a little scratch, though."
And then Bardock just looks at Monito, and then his scouter starts going off. Someone's near. What? And then they hide behind a tree, and we see 4 individuals standing on a hilltop. And it's none other than the Heaters! Tch, the freaking Heaters. Who might they be? They act as intermediaries for planets that Frieza had conquered. Simply put, they're brokers. Hopefully you guys can see my mouth when I get real close to the mic like this. They act as intermediaries for planets that Frieza has conquered. Simply put, they're brokers. Guess they've set their sights on this planet. Treating our planet like something to be sold. And then it shows Frieza's army flying off. And the Heaters are just there. Then it cuts to Elect. Perfect. The Ceruleans and Namekians are out of the picture. Get word to the Shigarians and start negotiating on a price. Sure, goes Oil. Then it cuts to Mackie.
We're gonna flay some good, right, Elect? An arm and a leg and then some?
Uh-huh. Once we spruce the place up, I won't sell for less than 100 billion pole. What about the cut for Frieza's army? Toss him a tenth of the total. And then Mackie's just laughing.
Easy money for us.
Then it cuts to Elect again. Most of Frieza's people are just in this business for the carnage. Battle-crazed diehards without the brains to know a planet's true value. And then Bardock is just there, just stewing in his own anger. As long as Frieza himself doesn't catch on, we're golden.
Unlike his goons, we've got brains and a power level that's off the charts. We better watch our step.
And then it cuts to Gas.
One day we will reign supreme over Frieza's army.
Right you are, Gas. And then it cuts to Bardock. And then it cuts to Bardock and Monito and Muesli, who walks up right next to him.
Who's over there?
And then Monito's all like, shh, don't let him hear you.
The Heaters won't triumph over Frieza with might, but with wits, wealth, and intel, our day will come eventually. Until that day, we better save up a juicy fortune.
Yeah, exactly. The Heaters aren't destined to serve that nasty lizard forever. And then it cuts to Bardock. So, they're planning to betray Frieza. And then someone starts to make their way out of the building. And it's Granolah.
Mommy?
And then Bardock's tail starts to twitch.
A Saiyan!
And then Granolah gets massive. Then Granolah gets, the worst possible timing. Why the worst possible timing? Why would you scream out loud like that? Because the Heaters hear it. Huh? And then Monito knocks out Granolah. And Muesli sees this. Oh, your boy's fine, just taking a nap. That stupid little, why do you have to shout like that? And then it cuts to Elect. Is someone over there? Darn it. Quick, give me your robe. And then it cuts to the Heaters making their way over to where Bardock is. And they see him like he's preparing to fire upon Muesli and the gang. A Namekian and a pair of Ceruleans. And who might you be? I was just about to slaughter these survivors I spotted. Ah, one of Frieza's men. Get on with it then. So he's just standing there. No! He's standing there. He's just standing there. Because he wants to watch. Well, having second thoughts? Actually, the Namekian just used some strange power. Maybe it's worth checking out before killing him. And then Elect just shoots. And he sees that Elect has just shot. And it turns out that he just went and shot Granola's mom through the heart. Wow! Yo! If Granolah didn't have a reason to go after the Heaters beforehand, knowing that they had a part to play in the Ceruleans and their whole civilization getting almost wiped out with work. If Granolah didn't have a reason to hate the Heaters because they're affiliated with the person he's trying to kill, he has an even bigger issue with the Heaters because they killed his mom. But Elect just shoots Muesli directly in the chest and she's gone. Muesli! There you go. Kill the kid and take the Namekian and make it quick. And then Bardock, he actually starts to tremble and Gas senses him getting angry, and he tries to blast in the direction of where the heaters are. And Gas moves in front of everyone, and he puts up a shield. And then there's just a massive explosion, and then the dust settles, and everyone's gone, except for the heaters.
Some nerve that guy. What's really going on? Is he working for Frieza or isn't he?
Then it cuts to Mackie.
What now? They gave us the slip.
They might have been eavesdropping.
This could put us in hot water.
And then it cuts to Bardock, who took everyone and hid behind a ridge far off. Then it cuts to Monaito.
So sorry. It's no use. My power ain't enough to save her.
Darn it. What's gotten into me?
Don't know, but what's your next move?
And then Bardock just looks over at Granolah.
The heaters. The heaters are bound to come looking for us. They have to die.
As it cuts to Elect and the rest of the heaters.
Let me go. All three will perish by my hand.
Oh, fine, get it done. Meanwhile, we'll prepare for a meeting with Frieza. Make sure this mess is dealt with before he shows up, Gas.
Of course.
And then Gas, why am I putting like such a southern drawl when I'm saying Gas? Gas flies off as the rest of the heaters just leave. Present day! And it cuts to Gas and Elect, who are on their ship, still on planet Cerealia because, Oil and Mackie called them over. A trip down memory lane of that day 40 years ago. Sure, the one you fought back then was a Saiyan, right?
Yes.
I get it. In a way, your own revenge is tied up in all this.
I will not suffer such indignity ever again. I have grown strong.
You sure have, but never hurts to have some insurance. And it cuts to Elect, who has one of the Dragon Balls. And then it cuts to Mackie and company as they're flying to another direction.
Just one more and the set's complete, so step on it.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll nab you soon enough, Dragon Ball number 2.
And that is the end of chapter 77. Onwards to chapter 78. Whoo! Gas is full of gas, all cap. I don't know if this is going to happen, but the day when Ultra Ego Vegeta ends up being on Dakon Battle and Dragon Ball Legends, I'm going to lose my mind. Good to see you, Ravi. Good to see you, Scorpion. It's good to see everyone. I just wanted to check chat real quick before we move on to the next series of chapters. Chapter 78, Gas's Wish. And as Mackie is flying in her ship with everyone, the dragon radar she stole from Bulma starts beeping. Or there's a beeping that's going off on her communicator she has on her choker.
What's going on, Oil? Any news?
We're all good on
our end. Huh? We've got trouble, Elect. Granolah and the Saiyan stopped kicking the crap out of each other.
What? Why?
Some old Namekian popped up and stopped the fighting.
A Namekian, huh? Monaito. He knows better than to meddle.
Let's go kill them all. Let's go kill them all.
And Gas is like,
let me kill them. I wish to kill them. Can I go kill them now? Let's go kill them all.
A massacre?
A massacre? Good idea. Especially since those 3 idiots are probably waking from all their fighting.
And then Elect goes, right. Fine. You two head that way. Meanwhile, I've got a dragon to say about a wish.
Cool. Here's the radar and spell you need to summon the dragon. And we're off.
Get it done. I will see your wish fulfilled, Gas.
I'm fine just as I am.
Don't be silly. This is the only surefire way to achieve our goals. Our plans all rely on you, you know. You know that, right? You know that, yeah?
Yes, I know.
And then it cuts to Mackie.
Hey, no more time for chit-chat. Let's move, Gas.
And then both Mackie and Gas just fly off, as Elect is just behind smiling. And then it cuts back to Granolah.
How can this be? Elect was the one who murdered my mother?
And then Goku and Vegeta are just looking to this whole story.
You knew the whole time, and still let me work for the heaters! You gotta understand, it was the only way for us to survive!
And then it cuts to Goku breaking them apart. Cut it out, Granolah, let's hear him out!
You've kept me in the dark for all these decades, letting them use me like that!
And then Vegeta.
Well, did he win?
And then it cuts back to Vegeta going, as everyone looks at him, as Vegeta goes,
Did Bardock defeat Gas? He sure did. That's how we survived.
glad to hear it, goes Goku.
Bardock was a low-class warrior as far as I know. Was Gas really that weak? Nope, just the opposite. Gas was very strong, but...
And then it cuts back to nighttime as the sky just gets dark immediately.
What's this? The sky has grown dark.
What the? It's like when we call Shenron.
This? No, it can't be.
Huh? Because Granolah recognizes this too. And it cuts to Elect standing in front of the dragon from the 2 Dragon Balls of Planet Cereal.
You who have collected 2 Dragon Balls, state your wish.
Look at that. A wish-granting dragon in the flesh.
And then it cuts to the Shigarians who are in the distance in the forest.
Why is it suddenly dark out?
Then it gets light again.
The darkness is gone,
goes Vegeta. What was that about? And then they all sense this enormous power. Both Goku and Vegeta sense this enormous power.
Hey, what's that enormous power signature?
Don't know, but it's headed our way.
Huh? What was that all about? Something coming this way?
I know that power, goes Granolah.
It's here!
And then there's a massive foom that envelops them all. And then the wind whips up, and there's 2 individuals standing on top of a like a rocky pillar in front of Goku and the group. Well, it's behind them actually. And the people standing behind them is Mackie and Oil.
What's up? Looks like the gang's all here.
You jerks! We know the whole story now! Why are you here?
Now that our plan's in motion, all that's left is to take out the trash.
And then, everyone is getting bothered, and then Mackie continues.
And hey, thanks for being a team player all these years, Granolah.
And then, I don't know why, but I like saying the name Granolah in an Australian accent.
Thanks for being a team player, Granolah.
It's just so funny to hear it said.
Thanks for being a team player, Granolah.
I like it. I really do.
And hey, thanks for being a team player all these years, Granolah.
And then Granolah.
You brought these Saiyans here to kill me, didn't you? You low-down dirty.
You didn't leave us much of a choice when you decided to become the strongest soul in the universe. When you didn't leave us much of a choice when you decided to become the strongest in all the universe. Talk about cheating. Too bad for you, you're not the only one who can make a wish.
A wish?
On that note, now presenting Gas, the actual strongest warrior in the universe.
What? Another one?
And then Granolah looks as we see Gas, who's been granted the wish of becoming the strongest in the universe, and he's gone from being like the little 3-foot-tall shortstop to being taller than Oil. He's now tall, and he's built, he's muscular, he's taller, and he's standing there with that same emotionless expression on his face, that permanent scowl.
Is that really you, Gas?
Goes Granolah.
I feared as much. They must have used the Dragon Balls. What? There are Dragon Balls on this planet?
Yes, I used them to become the strongest in the universe. That explains it, goes Goku. And then Gas starts to shoot a beam from his finger, like a sustained beam from his finger. And then he starts to move his finger towards the group. And the beam is so fast that everyone has to dodge out of the way.
Darn it, dodge!
And everyone dodges, but the beam slices clean through Granolah's ship. It slices completely through his ship, cleanly. It doesn't even explode, it's just a clean cut. And it's just still standing there, but, oh wait, no, it falls over. And then after that,
my ship.
And then Gas creates like this big 4-pronged trident in his hand, and he throws it at Granolah, and Granolah gets hit in all of his limbs. I believe it was specifically made to make it so that Granolah, all of his limbs got hit by all 4 of these prongs. He gets hit by this trident and sent into one part of his ship, and it just impales him on the ship.
Granolah!
and then Gas jumps down, and he starts walking towards Granolah.
I never liked you. I provide enough muscle for the heaters. You are not needed. At last, I am free to kill you.
No way! And then Gas snaps his fingers as Goku tries to rush him, and then these cubes just appear on Goku's arms all of a sudden and forces him to the ground.
Whoa! I can't move!
You must be that Saiyan son.
Yep, I heard him mention that earlier.
That would explain the familiar face. Does his father still live?
That generation of Saiyans was slain by Frieza himself. Only a few members of our tribe survived the purge.
Is that so?
And then Maki,
works for us. We'll finish what Frieza started and take out the rest of the trash.
Duh.
And then Goku, just hang on a minute. Why do you have to kill us in the first place?
You and Granolah must perish, as do all who might threaten our plans.
And then Gas creates this big old battle axe as if he's about to behead Goku.
Now die.
And as he comes down to bring the axe on the back of him, he gets stopped by someone shooting him in the back. And that person who shoots him in the back was Granolah. And the axe just narrowly misses Goku's face. Just narrowly misses it.
The title of the strongest belongs to me.
Because it's Granolah who shot him. And Gas looks at him, and then he creates a big old spiked mace, and he rushes Granolah and just backhands him with it. And Mona Ito just looks on in shock as a person he's cared for all these years gets knocked to the side. And then it just shows Gas rushing him and constantly beating on him with this mace he's created. Then it cuts to Maki.
You idiot, Gas's wish came after yours, which makes him stronger. Duh!
She does have a good point, though. Make me the strongest in the universe. So if there's already a person who's strongest in the universe, then that wish would make you stronger than the person who's the strongest in the universe. So, interesting. But it shows Gas just constantly hitting Granolah over and over again, sending him flying high into the sky.
Alex saw value in your strength, but I never did.
Ugh, that scum!
And then the weights that are on Goku start to disappear because it's Mona Ito who's starting to make them all disappear. Huh? Thanks a bunch!
Nice one! You show him, Gas!
Let me heal you!
You sure?
But I have a request. I know I've got no right to ask for favors, but please save Granolah for me.
Sure, I'll do what I can. And then it cuts to Granolah steadily fighting Gas, but every one of his hits, Gas is just dodging.
Take this! Why did you let me live?
We did not learn that you two had survived until several years after the fall of Planet Cereal.
And he catches Granolah's fist and he starts to crush his hand.
By that point, you had already made a name for yourself as a bounty hunter. Alex said it would be a waste to kill such a resource, so he decided to hire you instead.
And then Granolah tries to fire on Gas. Actually, no. We're looking at older Gas. We're looking at present day Gas, and then it cuts to a younger, not present day Gas. We're looking at a present day Granolah, and then we look at a young Granolah who's training in the woods as the heaters are watching him. And then it cuts to Elect.
So he's the bounty hunter who's been making waves.
Why are you here, Elect? You can't take Granolah.
As if you can do anything to stop us. I'm guessing you didn't tell him I killed his mother. If the boy knew the truth, he'd run with some half-baked plan for revenge. He'd get himself killed. You're smarter than you look.
The boy thinks it was luck that he survived. He doesn't know what really happened on that cursed day.
Good. And you'll keep that mouth shut, you old coot. Because the second you blab, both of your lives are over. Hey, kid, come over here.
Who are you?
We heard the tales. They say you've got skills. Why not come work for me?
And then this is literally how Granolah got groomed and recruited by the Eaters.
You'll be well paid for your trouble. Don't you want to help the old man move out of this rickety shack?
And then it cuts back to the present.
I think I made the wrong choice back then. It would have been better to die than serve elect.
You did it so you two could survive. You didn't have much of a choice. They're the bad guys here.
I don't even live up to being a Namekian. I can't even manage to restore your energy.
And then it cuts to Goku and he goes, "Ah! Vegeta! Don't you have another sensu bean?"
Yes, but it's stored in my armor, which I tossed away.
What the heck, Vegeta? And Vegeta's all like, "Yeah, it's in my armor that I threw away earlier." Why? And then an explosion happens behind them as it shows Granolah just getting tossed around by gas. "He's out cold and not getting up. Thanks for the healing, old man. I feel much better now. Vegeta, go back and find your armor. I'll try to hold my own in the meantime. Eat it as soon as you find it."
Really?
Only fair. I ain't the first one, remember?
Very well. Don't die, Kakarot.
You can transform into Freaky Face mode again and beat gas.
Freaky Face mode? It's called Ultra Ego, you fool.
And then it cuts to Goku jumping right in front of gas. "Listen, buddy, what you guys are doing here is just too cruel." "So the endangered species has become friends. Not your place, outsider." And then Gas creates like a blade on his arm. "This is just how the Haters operate." And he tries to stab Goku, and Goku goes Super Saiyan Blue and catches his blade and keeps Gas from stabbing him. He then destroys the blade, which shocks Gas. "You won't kill me that easily." And then it cuts to Goku rushing Gas and trying to kick him, but Gas he's able to create any type of weapon with his own ki. If it's a sword or a big pronged trident, he creates a shield on his arm to brace against Goku's attack. And Gas just shields himself in order to protect himself from Goku. And then he blasts where Gas is before Gas can actually properly shield himself, and there's a massive explosion. And then it shows Gas is already behind Goku with a big old mallet. And like Eustace, "I'm getting me mallet." But he goes, "Did you really think that would work on me, you fool?" And then hits Goku with this big old energy mallet, sending him flying. But he's still in Super Saiyan Blue form, so that wasn't enough to knock him out of it. Gah! As Goku is holding his head,
The Saiyan's not at all that tough after all.
"Maybe Gas didn't even need that wish to handle these chumps." And then Oil looks over and notices that Vegeta's not there.
Look, Vegeta's gone.
What?
And then it cuts to Vegeta, who gets back to the ruins of the Cerulean town, and he finds his armor.
It should be in here. Yes, it's safe.
And then it cuts to Vegeta as he holds a sensu bean in his hand. Then it cuts to Goku, who's getting like some sort of weird nunchuck cord weapon. I don't even know what to call it. What type of weapon is it when it's not like a nunchuck, but it's a long cord with weights at the end of it? I think that's a real life weapon, but he has like this long whip with a solid weight at the end. Think Ghost Rider with a weighted tip. But he just throws it and he's whipping it around and it's hitting Goku in his midsection and he kicks Goku away. And Goku is now out of Super Saiyan Blue.
What's the holdup, Vegeta?
I hate to say it, but I'm not going to last much longer. And then it cuts to some Saiyan shoes on the ground. And it's Vegeta as he's standing in front of Granolah.
Rise and shine, Granolah. Eat this.
What is it?
It will restore your energy. Now eat it. You had something like this all along? Eating it could have helped you beat me. And take the coward's way out. Never. Now eat the freaking bean and rejoin the fight. Your revenge must be satisfied, no? So settle this grudge with your own strength.
Yo, Vegeta's all like, "I'm not gonna fight the Heaters. You are owed this revenge. So let the strongest in the universe fight the strongest in the universe." Ooh, Vegeta. Okay. Onwards. That's the end of chapter 78. Onwards to chapter 79. We got one more chapter after this, and then we'll be done. Chapter 79, Gas versus Granolah. Depending on the granola you eat, you will in turn have to deal with gas as well. Chapter 79, Gas versus Granolah. And then it cuts to Elect, who's just chilling, drinking some wine. I'm guessing Gas is now the mightiest in the universe. Alexa, shall we move the ship closer to the battlefield? Only once the fight's over. Have you ever seen an active battlefield? I don't want any debris falling into my wine. Very well, sir. Besides, I've got one more urgent errand to handle. And then it cuts to Mona Ito, who's there in front of Oil and Maki.
Spill the beans, geezer. Where did Vegeta go?
Heck if I know. And then it cuts to Maki.
Playing dumb, are we?
Maybe Oil can convince you to wise up. And then Oil walks over to Mona Ito like he's preparing to, injure the old man. Then it cuts back to Vegeta, who's preparing to give Granolah the sensu bean.
Hurry up and eat it.
And then Granolah eats the sensu bean. Sensu bean!
What is this? One moment I was down for the count, but now, this is incredible. Go on, don't waste the sensu bean.
And then Granolah looks at him, and then he looks in the direction of where Oil is, and he stops Oil from actually injuring Mona Ito.
Granolah?
How are you still standing? The old man's off limits.
And he blasts away both Oil and Maki, and they both go sailing into a nearby rock pillar, and they just hit it. And then Gas sees this as he's preparing to skewer Goku, like he's holding him up by his shirt on the end of a pike. He really likes using different types of weapons, doesn't he? He's holding up Goku on the end of a pike, and then it zooms into Granolah, who glares at him. Your energy has been restored. Well, you're healed somehow.
Don't forget your partner, Granolah.
I swear if you ever chuck me aside again!
And that's Oatmeal, who's on this intercom.
I swear if you ever chuck me aside again!
Sorry about that, Oatmeal.
Does the universe strongest have no need of my support?
No, I'll always want you backing me up.
And then it cuts to Granolah, who powers up both of his eyes, and he then powers up fully, and that fully catches the attention of Gas.
Whoa!
And then Vegeta's in the distance, and he's just looking on, smiling. Then it cuts to Granolah, as he says,
Get down here, Gas. You're here to fight me.
And then Gas actually smiles. And he tosses away Goku down towards the ground and dissipates his pike. And he goes, just so. And then he lands in front of Granolah and brings up dual shields on both of his arms. And then it cuts to Oil and Maki getting up from the impact location where they were.
That rotten Granolah. How's he looking peppier than ever? He was beaten to a pulp just a minute ago.
Relax. We know Gas is the strongest now. He's gonna win this for us.
And then it cuts to Gas and Granolah preparing to fight each other. And they rush each other. And it looks like Gas is trying to hit Granolah with his shields, but Granolah dodges. And then Granolah shoots into these shields, hoping to hit Gas's weak spot, because he tries to hit Granolah. Granolah slides underneath, but Gas protects himself from getting hit in the chest. And then Granolah keeps shooting Gas and causing the shots to propel Gas higher and higher into the air. Then as it dissipates, Gas continues to go after Granolah. And he lands face first into the ground because Granolah rolls out of the way. He gets rid of his shields, creates a pike, and tries to jab Granolah with it. Granolah takes that same pike, and then he throws away Gas. And as Gas is being thrown away, he summons daggers. This would be like so many different scenes in a fraction of a second happening right now. While he's being thrown away, he makes kunai, and he throws them all at Granolah. Granolah then bats away every single one of these. As Gas keeps throwing kunai at Granolah.
Your heart rate is elevated. Remain calm and focus.
Got it.
And then as it looks like Granolah's preparing to blast Gas, Oatmeal goes,
Wait! There's a wrecking ball incoming from above!
And then Granolah catches the wrecking ball. It's a really big wrecking ball, and stops it from hitting him. And as Gas is holding onto the chain, he tugs on the chain, and the wrecking ball pretty much just explodes. But Granola's fine.
Not so fast, Granolah. You're surrounded by its projectiles. There are 46 of them within a 50 Kaya seed radius.
50 Kaya seed radius. That's more space measurements.
There are 46 of them within a 50 Kaya seed radius.
And then Gas, just using gestures, just causes all of the kunai to go inside of the smoke where Granolah is inside. And Mackie is like,
He's toast.
get good going. And then the dust settles, and Granolah caught every single one of those kunai, and he's just dropping them on the ground.
These tricks won't work on me anymore.
And Gas is getting, kind of bothered.
Well,
How's Granolah holding up?
as well as his opponent or better.
Oh yeah? Nice. Not surprised. Then it cuts to Gas and Granolah constantly clashing with one another. Granolah gets a kick in, but Gas protects himself with yet another shield. It just shows you that he's not capable of shielding himself with his own hands, because if he was, he wouldn't need to use these shields all the time. So obviously, there's some merit to these attacks that could land on him, that could actually hurt him if he didn't need these shields. So apparently, he's not as durable as one would think, because otherwise he wouldn't need the shields at all. But he kicks away Gas just a little distance, and he tries to get like this big lance and prepare to hit Granolah, but Granolah is directly in front of Gas before Gas could even get the thing off the ground. And he just hits Gas full force. Ah! Oh! And then Gas is just seen flying in the distance, and he hits a tree.
Oh, give me a break. How's Gas getting beaten back?
And then Mackie's just watching.
Gas only achieved the title of strongest a bit ago.
Oh yeah, so he can't make full use of his power. We can't make use of his full power yet, just like Granolah at first.
I suspect so.
And then Gas gets up, and we see Granolah flying towards him as Gas creates a saber in his hand, like a cutlass in his hand, and he tries to slash at Granolah, but Granolah dodges it and kicks Gas high into the air. And Gas actually starts to wipe some blood from his lip. Then it cuts to Vegeta again.
The gap between them is evident. This is Granolah's chance.
But why is Gas sticking to just that one move using those strange weapons?
Hard to say. Perhaps he gained that ability from the wish to become the strongest.
And then it cuts to Monaito as he goes,
Nope. Gas has always used those weapons he creates out of nothing.
Oh, okay. Oh, and then it shows Gas creating big old chakrams. And they're spinning around his wrist. He has them spinning around his wrist as he flies straight towards Granolah, attempting to hit him. And as he attempts to hit Granolah, Granolah catches the blades in his fingertips. He just catches both of the blades spinning at high RPMs. He just catches them both in his fingertips. Ooh, Granolah! And Gas is surprised to see this as he gets kicked directly in the midsection.
Why? Why rely solely on that arsenal of yours?
I get it. Gas wants to beat Granolah with his own strength.
And then it cuts to Gas constantly using weapons over and over again.
Didn't that wish give you new powers to use?
It ain't that Gas can't wield his newfound power the right way. He just doesn't wanna.
If this is all you've got, then you're done for!
As Granolah is preparing to punch Gas, Gas starts to emit an aura out from him that stops Granolah's punch. And then Gas just casually puts his hand up. And the next panel we see is a shocked face from Granolah and a massive blast that encompasses pretty much the majority of the panel page. And everyone just looks on in shock.
I counted!
And then it cuts to, as the dust is settling, it cuts to Granolah, who's laying on the ground, as he got hit full force with this attack. And then Gas is just like scoffing at himself.
I knew it. You were holding back your new strength.
I consider this a failure on my part. I had hoped to kill you with the technique I've honed.
And then it cuts to Granolah as he's shooting towards Gas, And Gas dodges away from the shots, and he's directly in front of Granolah. Like, he's aiming his fingers, but Granolah is directly in front of him while he's still aiming. Instant transmission? Ugh.
Any abilities you have gained are now mine as well.
And then it cuts to Gas as he balls up a fist, and he hits Granolah with such force that he's sent flying into the air as he says,
My power is far superior to yours.
and then at the same time, with that same hand he hit Granolah with, he then blasts Granolah and sends him flying into the air.
That looked like destruction. He never needed those extra
Wow! Oh wait! He's able to use destruction just like Vegeta. Oh no! Oh no! Daylight come and me want go home.
That looked like destruction.
He never needed those extra weapons. And then it cuts to Gas as he's looking at his hand, and he just clenches it, going, "I see now." And then Granolah flies up in the air, and he takes off his jacket.
I never thought taking you down would actually be that easy. Well, go on. What can the universe's strongest muster? I've still got plenty of fight left in me.
And then it cuts to Granolah appearing right next to Gas, and he punches into the arm of Gas. And mind you, Gas was always using a shield to protect himself, but he doesn't this time. He just uses his arm to brace up against Granolah. And they both keep dodging each other's hits. And as Gas prepares to hit, as Granolah starts to rush Gas prepares to hit him, but Granolah is already gone from the path of the punch, and he kicks Gas from the side. And it's just a bunch of exchanges of them appearing in one spot, appearing in another, hitting each other. And as Gas tries to hit Granolah dodges out of this shot as well. And then it just cuts to a panel where you just see their after images, like the speed lines of where they were, clashing throughout the sky. That's how fast they're moving. You don't see them anymore, you just see their speed lines, and that's it. They have gone full blur mode right now. Then Goku, are they for real? They're both using instant transmission like it's nothing, and I struggled so hard to learn that move. And it cuts to Granolah and Gas clashing once more as they keep using instant transmission to dodge each other. But Granolah anticipates where Gas is going to appear, and he kicks in that direction and manages to just scrape the side of Gas's face with this kick, which surprises him. Then Gas goes back to using his shield again. And they go back to, dodging each other's hits using instant transmission.
Like it's no big deal? No. Take a closer look.
Huh?
Gas still isn't familiar with that move. He boasts speed and power, yes, but have you ever seen instant transmission used so sloppily?
As we see Gas using instant transmission over and over, but Granolah is able to anticipate where he's going to appear, and he winds up hitting Gas directly in his midsection. But then Gas comes back down and slams Granolah down into a nearby forest, and Granolah's back up just looking at him like,
is that all you got?
Then Goku, you're right.
If nothing else, Granolah wields it more accurately. He still stands a chance.
Because Granolah just stares at Gas, and Gas is starting to huff and puff because he's actually starting to exert some effort. That is the end of chapter 79. Onwards to the last chapter. How long have I been doing this? Wow. Wow. I'm going to be able to get this done within an hour. Interesting. Vegeta needs to have that same conversation with Goku. That's how you share a sensu bean. Yeah, you don't share it with the enemy. You don't share it with the enemy. You share it with your allies. But Goku's stupid, so it's going to be a while before he even learns that. Chapter 80, Gas versus Granolah, Part 2. And it cuts to Gas, who's up in the air, huffing and puffing as he screams out, "Ah!" And he starts to output more and more energy. Like he's just imbued in his own power now. I'll figure out that move soon enough. And he punches into the ground, causing numerous pieces of debris to fly up to try and obscure Granolah's vision. and he tries to rush Granolah, but Granolah moves out of the way with instant transmission and appears behind Granolah, behind Gas. Gas rushes Granolah. Granolah uses instant transmission. Gas and Granolah, I'm going to get those names mixed up pretty much more during this chapter, so I hope you're prepared. Granolah dodges using instant transmission, and he's far off behind Granolah. Behind Gas! Granolah dodges out of the way with instant transmission when Gas tries to hit him, appears right behind him using instant transmission. But Gas tries to shoot at him with lasers from his eyes. And Granolah dodges, and he's right behind Gas again. And as he appears behind a rock preparing to hit Gas, Gas goes, "Take this!" And he hits the rock, but that's not where Granolah is. And it's just a whole big panel where he's zigzagging between the fallen debris in the air to get to where Granolah is. And Granolah, using the same destruction move he used against Vegeta earlier, causes all the pebbles around Gas to explode using destruction. And Gas is just enveloped in it, as Mackie and Oil just watch on.
Gas might be stronger, but he's losing in the skills department. Dang, guess those Dragon Balls ain't all that after all.
Hang on, Gas won't let it in like this,
goes Mackie, as Gas and Granolah continue to clash with one another, and they still keep using instant transmission over and over again. And their punches are clashing, their kicks are clashing. It's just going back and forth with each other.
I can now track your every move.
And then it just cuts to clashes in the sky as Goku and the rest of the crew are watching on.
Darn it! Granolah wasted too much time and allowed Gas to grow accustomed to those new moves.
Because the next panel it shows is Gas hitting Granolah with a full-on uppercut, knocking him backwards.
I won't lose sight of you again.
And then it cuts to Granolah, who comes from the side and kicks Gas full force because Granolah is using that Shadow Clone Jutsu again. And then, as it cuts to the second Granolah hitting Gas in one direction, a third appears and kicks Gas high into the air. And now we have 3 solid Shadow Clones of Granolah.
Now it's clones? I know a thing or two about clones, like Captain Rex, Commander Cody, Wrecker, Fives, Echo, all those different clone troopers you will see from Star Wars. Get General Kenobi over here.
I'm sorry. It's just that I was just doing my clone trooper voices while I was out shopping yesterday. It's just been on my mind lately.
Now it's clones.
And then Gas is surrounded by a bunch of other clones in the air, and they all start firing at Gas.
Relax.
Granolah still has the skills to win this thing. And then Gas rushes the real Granolah, and, well, he rushes one Granolah and punches him in his stomach, then bounces off of him and starts demolishing all these other different clones. Then Gas lands on the ground, as all of these clones are left struggling in the air a little bit.
Making clones split your power. How idiotic.
As all these clones start to rush towards Gas.
This last move of yours was all or nothing then?
And then he pulls his fingers back, and then using all 10 of his fingers, he shoots different beams that hit all the other Granolah clones. And all of them get hit. And they all get skewered. And then Mackie looks on in utter shock and surprise. Like both sides are surprised. Goku, Vegeta, Monaito, Oil, and Mackie, they're all shocked to see this.
You got lost in the power of those skills, Granolah.
And as he's saying this, the real Granolah appears right in front of Gas. As he goes,
or I was just waiting for this perfect opening.
Because it turns out that all of those Granolas that are impaled on his energy spikes were all clones. And the real Granolah is preparing to zap him right here and now. And he does. And he hits Gas directly in his chest with a full-powered sniper blast, sending Gas flying backwards. And he got hit so hard that Gas's eyes open up larger than his forehead. Like his eyes are open wide as Mackie and Oil look on in shock. and Gas is sent flying backwards, straight through several trees, and he winds up getting knocked like miles out as he's knocked into a nearby lake, and he's just floating down there.
Gas!
As both Oil and Mackie go fly after him. And then, after exerting so much power, Granolah drops to his knees. Way to go! Goes Goku.
What's wrong? Wait. What's wrong?
Wait, what's wrong with Granolah?
Any damage taken by the clones is felt by his real body. That final ploy was a sacrificial one.
And then Monaito runs over and goes, Granolah!
Stay back. It's not over yet.
Come on, stay with us!
As it cuts to Gas lying there with a big old mark. With a big old scorch mark on his stomach. As he struggles to get up. And then Mackie looks over and it cuts to Elect. What's wrong, Gas? This isn't like you.
Elect! He's here too?
Why's Gas getting his butt beat, Elect? You sure you made that wish to turn... Oh, wait. You sure you made that wish to turn him into the universe's strongest, right?
Of course I did. Gas is undeniably the strongest fighter now. By a huge margin, in fact. And then it cuts to Elect putting his hands towards Gas's head, and the little toothy headpiece he had on his head, he just rips it off of Gas's head for some reason. Why?
Huh?
What gives?
No point in being the strongest in the universe when all that precious power is sailed away. I know you can withstand it now. So liberate that inner nature.
You sure, man?
This didn't turn out so hot 40 years ago.
Oh, the headpiece was a seal. The headpiece was a seal. Whoa! And then it shows Gas as his body starts to sweat all over and this aura starts to emanate from him.
This is clearly a bad idea. When our instincts are unleashed, we lose our sense of self.
And then it cuts to Gas as he's starting to hurt all over. And Elect, endure it, Gas. You're not the man. You're not the man you were back then. And then Gas flies upwards, and his body starts to transform. Like his teeth start to get sharper, like horns start to come out of the side of his face, and his muscles start to get larger and larger. This dude has gone into a berserker state right now. And the power that emanates from him, his hair got even longer, and he's just gone full berserker now.
Is that Gas?
Where'd he find that? Where'd he find another power-up? And then it cuts to Gas as he's screaming out he's gone animalistically now.
What is he? That look! I saw it with my own eyes 40 years ago! When Bardock had Gas on the ropes, he lost himself and turned into that! He lost himself? So that's his last resort?
And then it cuts to Gas as he launches at Granolah in this berserker state. And he almost hits Granolah, but Granolah dodges away, but Gas catches his leg and then proceeds to slam him like a ragdoll, like Hulk Smash. People really do like to do that sort of move in these stories, don't they? He grabs onto his leg and slams him onto the ground with such force that the power that's emanating from Gas is being felt all across the planet. As even Goku, Vegeta, and Monaito have to cover themselves because that's how much power Gas is exerting right now. And Gas tosses away Granolah deep into the forest, knocking out one of the trees in the process. And he gets back up, and Gas is right on him, and he grabs the head of Granolah and slams him into the ground. So Gas is trying to embrace his inner Broly right now, apparently. And he not only does he drive Granolah into the ground, but he starts to drive him through the ground, like going deep underground. And so far underground that, mind you, Gas and Granolah were fighting in front of Goku and Vegeta. Berserker Gas has pretty much just dug Granolah so far underground that they pop up behind Goku and Vegeta. And Gas is just still losing all sense of self as he throws away Granolah as the rest of the heaters are watching on.
See? He's gone and lost his mind again!
As it cuts to Gas as he lands right next to Granolah and proceeds to constantly beat on Granolah's face with extreme force. So much force that the ground is starting to break under the force of these blows. If this was a regular human, that head would not have lasted as long. And then Goku,
This is nuts. Granolah's not gonna last much longer. Hey, old man, how in the world did Bardock defeat Gas when he was like that?
I was unconscious. I didn't see.
You! Guess! This giant stuff is great and all, but don't let the urge take over. Come back to your senses!
And then it cuts to Gas momentarily stopping, and he's so out of his mind that he's just drooling from the mouth, and like his eyes are just gone blank. He's in a full-on berserker state where he's not in his right mind. And then he roars at Mackie and Oil, rushes between them, and knocks both of them to the side as he flies past them and slams his head into a rock. And he keeps slamming his head into a rock over and over. And then it cuts to Elect, who's right between Mackie and Oil.
Nope, he's lost his freaking mind.
What now, Elect, huh? Guess he's gonna wreck himself!
And then it cuts to Elect as he goes,
It's fine. The universe's strongest warrior should have greater control over his own power than any other.
as apparently Gas flies high up in the air away from Mackie and company, and he flies towards Vegeta and everyone else, and dive bombs directly into Vegeta so fast that Goku and Monaito aren't able to perceive what happens until after Gas and Vegeta are a good distance away. But he hits Vegeta and slams him directly into a rock, and he just starts beating up on Vegeta. He just starts beating up on him. And then Goku flies over, Vegeta! And he rushes between both Gas and Vegeta, and he catches the fists. And as they're clashing fists, Gas looks at Goku. Oh, I think I know why. Because Goku looks just like the man who beat him. Gas looks at Goku with a shock on his face. And in that, we see Bardock, back when he was fighting Gas earlier. It shows Bardock blasting Gas when Gas was in this berserker state. And then it cuts to Gas being launched back from the clash of Goku's punch. And Goku's all like, huh? And then it cuts to Gas, who's struggling to get his power under control. And then it cuts to Elect, who's floating above, going,
Go on, Gas. Remember, you swore never to lose again, right?
And then a thought goes through Gas's head, and he starts standing up, and he starts slowly regaining control of himself as he stops being all violent, and he starts to stand up normally, look to the surprise of everybody. And then Gas opens his eyes, and then he causes his clothes to appear back on his body again, and he's back to being his old normal self, even when it's far to, fix his hair and make himself back to the way he was. But he still has the berserker horns coming out of the side of his face. So now we have controlled berserker Gas now.
Yes, there you go.
And then Goku,
It looks like he's had some kind of awakening.
My little brother is the strongest in the universe for real now. Go on, Gas. Annihilate those two who stand in our way.
And then Gas ends the chapter by simply nodding and acknowledging what his brother said. And that is the end of chapter 80, ladies and gentlemen, and the end of my read-through of the next 4 chapters after Volume 17 of Dragon Ball Super. We will continue with the next 4 chapters tomorrow, same time, 12. Not 12:30, but 12. A lot of things are happening. Gas was strong enough, but here's my thing. This is not the first time that Gas has taken on this berserker state, but the fact that Bardock beat him, that should say something to, hey, if he can be beaten once while in this state, he can be beaten again. But then again, during that time, he was still in a berserker state, and he didn't reach this heightened form of control over this berserker state that he's just gained access to. Not only that, But since Elect made a wish to make Gas the strongest warrior in the universe over Granolah, now he's going to be in a controlled berserker state while also having this wish-imbued power coursing through him right now. So the question is, who's going to be the one to beat him? I'm pretty sure we'll find out in the next couple of chapters. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you all are as well. This went quicker. This actually went much quicker than my physical readings because I could just hit a button and just go through the page instead of me having to shift through the pages themselves. I can just read from Viz right here. So overall, these are good reads. We are learning so much. Bardock was the one who saved Granolah and the gang. He's the one that kept him, told him to stay safe. But we also find out that it's the Heaters who are the reason why Muesli, who is the mother of Granolah, is dead because Elect killed him. And he took Granolah under his wing just to make him into like a good tool to be used without him ever knowing that he was the one who killed Granolah's mother. So we still have the vendetta against the Heaters that's still going. But Gas is the only thing that stands in the way of Granolah getting his revenge on the man who took his life from him. Like, his mother was the only person from the Ceruleans that existed, but now it was just him and Monaito. So there's still a reckoning that still needs to happen between Elect and Granolah. I hope we see it. But only time will tell as I finish my entire catch-up series of Dragon Ball Super before Christmas. It will be done on Friday because I only have... This was like the last one I did yesterday was like 4. So now this one was the third one. So we should have only 2 more days for me to actually do this. So tomorrow and Friday. Matter of fact, I have the images here that can tell me how much more I actually have to go. Great. I forgot that I set this up in a very weird way. We just have 81 through 84, and then 85 through 88. So literally 2 more sessions. So I will be done and fully caught up on Dragon Ball Super on Friday. And then the next chapter doesn't drop until January 19th of next year. So yeah, look forward to that. To everyone who is here right now, all I can say to everyone here is that, well, firstly, thank you for making this an amazing year. Whether you were here strictly for my manga reads, or if you're here for any of my gaming streams, or basically anything else that I do, whatever you're here on this channel for, I just want to say thank you. You've made this a great year. Me being able to do this full time and make this my job, it has been a dream come true, and I can call myself truly blessed to do what I love. So I just want to say thank you for making this an amazing year, and I'm looking forward to what I can do for all of you next year. But that's all I got. Let me not keep you here any longer than I already have. All I can say at the end of the day is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then like, subscribe, share with everyone you know, because the more the merrier. And maybe even consider becoming a member, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples.